Yo, 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 welcome back for another episode of I Said What We Said, episode 6. I made a mistake and said 4 on the last one. So I lost count. This is episode 6. I got my guy, Bayln Groom from Birmingham, Alabama, Tarrant High School. What's that, the east side, west side? What is that, coach?
It's like in the middle between the north and the east. So
Northeast. Okay,
we close to Pinson and we real close to like Carver High School. So
okay.
yeah,
4A, 5A?
4A.
4A. Okay. Thank you for coming. I appreciate you for coming.
Man, I appreciate you having me, dog.
And we finna rock out and have some fun, man. I'm gonna let you introduce yourself and tell the people a little bit about yourself. We taking off.
Okay. Well, like my guy Justin said, I'm Baylon Groom, head coach of the Tarrant Wildcats here in Birmingham, Alabama. I've been a head coach for 3 years. I've been coaching since I was 18, and I recently just turned 30, so I've been coaching for 12 years now.
Okay.
Uh, I got my start with the Bledsoe Ice with Coach Abel, who is now the director of the Alabama Fusion. I was more like a grad assistant, just like helping out doing small stuff like stats and stuff like that. And I kind of climbed up the ranks. Eventually got my first head coaching gig at my alma mater when I turned 19 as a ninth grade coach at Pleasant Grove High School.
Okay.
And then got my first start with the Fusion when I was 21 as the fifth grade coach, and I grew up with those guys, the class 2024. And then I've been an assistant at midfield. I was an assistant at midfield for 6 years under Coach Barber, who's now at Pinson, and then my mentor Courtney Jones, who's now still the head coach at midfield. Won a state championship there, numerous Elite Eight appearances, Sweet 16, Final Four. And then I got now I'm at Tarrant, going into my third year.
Okay. You got a lengthy resume
Yeah, I know.
in both worlds, school
Right.
ball and AAU.
Yep.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Did you play any ball? You played basketball?
I did. I played 2 years of varsity at Pleasant Grove High School. I got the chance to walk on at Jacksonville State. Never got the chance to play though. I hurt my back my freshman year. And crazy enough, when I was trying to get back into what I was trying to do in playing, I had to sit down with the doctor and they see, I damaged my back so good. He said, man, you take one hit, it's over. You're gonna be in a wheelchair for the rest of your life. So that was an easy decision to give it up and
Right.
go into coaching. So I'm glad that I did make the decision to go into coaching and teaching because that's been my purpose in life.
True. I feel that. Hey, let me ask you this. I'm gonna ask you this on what you just said. What is walk on like? I'm not sure if a lot of people understand
Oof.
what walking on actually is.
So walking on I'm gonna say in my instance of what happened to me, I had to know somebody to even
Okay.
get the opportunity to sit down and talk to the coach and get to practice with the team and try out with the team. Because you have so many people that are PWOs or preferred walk-ons. You have
Okay.
so many people that might get the opportunity. I had to know like two or three people on the team and then two or three coaches to even get the chance to meet the coach. And then so a lot of my duties just came with just being around the guys, doing laundry, little stuff like that. Kind of like a manager position. But
Okay.
then I was gonna get the chance to play. I hurt my back in a workout really bad and had some weight fall on me. And while the adrenaline flowing, you don't feel it.
Yeah. You
But
still.
then
Yeah.
yeah, but then when you finally get the chance to sit down and I messed up my back really bad. So I ended up having a bulging disc in my L5.
Okay.
And if anybody knows like the pain that you have in that lower back, like it's almost irreversible. So like it started getting worse. I couldn't go to class. I had to have two surgeries within 3 years. I mean, not 3 years, but 3 months to kind of repair that.
Okay.
So once I kind of got it back and moving, um, it was kind of too late. So I just had to have a conversation with the coaches. I appreciate the opportunity, but I can, go on and do what I wanted to do as far as try to be a college athlete.
Okay. Yeah, I asked that because I don't think people fully understand walking on stuff like that. Um, who are some of the influences growing up on and off the court for you, like as far as coaching, and stuff like that?
Well, I get the coaching aspect from my dad, even though he wasn't a coach, just being a leader and being a man.
Hmm.
Um, and that's what I get from him. My dad was not only a dad for me, but a dad for so many people that didn't have a dad growing up, if you know what I mean by that.
Right. He in the
So like,
community. Okay,
yeah, right. And being
got
like even though I'm 30 and I'm like a big brother to a lot of my players now because they're 17 or 18. But I'm like a father figure to them
you. Okay,
in a
okay,
sense. So I get that aspect from him. On the court, and I consider him one of the greatest players to ever grace the state of Alabama. My uncle, he played at Auburn in the early 80s, early mid 80s. His name was Jeff Moore. He played at
okay.
Midfield High School, considered one of the greatest big men to ever play in the state of Alabama. Won Mr. Basketball in 84 or 83 for midfield. He was the part of the group that came after Charles Barkley and
Okay.
really set Auburn basketball to where it is now. And just watching like a lot of his takes and then people finding out when I played, like, oh man, you play just like your uncle.
Yeah,
Got the
yeah.
jump shot and everything just like him. So that definitely was my biggest influence. I had an older cousin who played on the '02 John Carroll team that won state. They went 36-0, ran the table. And
Okay,
he was a big influence on my life too, as far as on the court goes too.
okay,
Yep.
okay. Um, what are some important lessons you have learned in your coaching career?
Never judge a book by its cover.
Okay,
I think that's number one. When I came to Tarrant, you kind of realize that you're dealing with different kids. Even though Midfield and Tarrant, the same demographic of kids, you're dealing with different kids and different personalities. So
okay,
this kid might not be the kid that you used to coaching is not gonna be the kid that you gonna get at Tarrant. So you never judge a book by its cover. A lot of these kids have so many different personalities. They go through so many different things in life. Something I couldn't imagine going through because I was lucky enough to have a two-parent household, or I was lucky enough to always have food on the table, stuff like that. These kids go through it every day and have the same smile on their face,
mm,
or the same goofy kid that you might have to deal with and tell him, hey, you need to get serious. That's just his way of kind of dealing with couple with life as it goes. So definitely don't judge a book by its cover is my number one.
okay. And you saying that dealing with kids, different personalities, and what they may be dealing with.
Hmm.
Do you think that has anything to do where that Birmingham grit comes from, and some of the kids that play in
Yeah.
Birmingham, because they
Uh-huh.
grit different. They grit different out their area. So do you
It
think
is,
like
man.
that's
It
it?
is. I will say this, Birmingham do have, we don't have as many polished players as we used to. A lot of those players are either gone, transferred out, gone to different cities, stuff like that. Different states, I'm sorry, different states. But it's always gonna be dogs in Birmingham. And
Yeah,
they don't take nothing for granted. You don't see them kids, they play they step on the court, they play like it's their last game every time they play.
yeah,
So that definitely has something to do with it for sure. It's just they get it out the mud different down here for sure. For
yeah,
sure.
yeah. I didn't notice that with kids from our area,
Hmm.
your area, farther down south, like the grit just be different, man.
Yep,
Like football, basketball, that grit be different. I
they
didn't
do.
notice that. Um, so what would you say the difference is for you in coaching school ball and AAU?
AAU, um, the recruiting and putting these players together to make a 3 or 4 month difference of winning happen between getting a group of kids that you get from August all the way to March. I think that's the biggest difference. I think AAU coaching AAU is harder than coaching school ball. School
Okay.
ball, you can develop kids who might not be good enough. And you have to put a group of kids together that might be, which in our situation with the fusion, just say if we got a team full of 5 stars, a team full of 4 stars. You have to manage egos, personalities, different kids,
Parents,
it,
egos.
parents' egos. Yeah, man, you have to manage all that. So AAU is definitely the more stressful coaching sport. I didn't. I know being an assistant on them EYBL teams, and especially on the last 17U team that made it to Peach Jam, we didn't have to deal with a lot of egos from parents, but kids, you might have to deal with, okay, this kid ain't getting this offer. Like our biggest kid was Trey Simpson. For many people who don't remember him, he plays at Kennesaw State now.
Okay.
And he was the biggest stock riser from March all the way to July. But because he was eating, the rest of his teammates was eating. So a lot
Okay.
of his teammates were able to get Division I scholarships because of him.
Because of the
So
light on him and
you're
people come to
right.
see him. So okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
So those are the best teams to have. When you got to deal with kids with personalities, different personalities, and now with the NIL situation and other states getting paid to play and other kids getting paid to play. So it's AAU is definitely the hardest out of the
Okay.
two, the coach for sure.
Okay. Okay. I'd have heard people give so many different answers for that question,
Hmm.
and is no right or wrong. It
It's
always
not.
makes sense. Whatever answer they choose, their reason for that reasoning for their answer is gonna make sense.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
And
my bad. My
how
bad.
oh, my bad. But how I look at coaching high school, you don't have to deal with you don't have to deal with kids' personalities as much because every kid is not the best player on their team when they play in high school. But you getting the best player on each team when you play AAU, especially on the Nike circuit. You rarely find many um non-athletes on the AAU team on the Nike circuit. So
Right.
you're getting the best from each school. So every player on that school every player on that team feels like I'm the best player on this program. Give me the ball with this. Give me the ball with that. So you got to
Yeah.
deal with different egos, and it's a lot, but it's rewarding at the same time. The rewards outweigh the pain and stress you got to deal with.
True. 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 So hey, so what is it like alongside my dog Ava and alongside my dog Corey? What is that like?
Well, I'm gonna say this: Ava is the goat. She don't get her flowers enough, and she wouldn't want me to say that because that's
That's
just
my
who she
dog.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, she the GOAT, without a doubt. And I tell her that all the time. Every chance I get, I enjoy working with Ava just because the stuff that she tells you and the stuff that you hear and listen, like it's phenomenal. Like the
And
stuff that she
straightforward too.
does. Yeah. The stuff that she does, and it's just like I can give you a perfect story. We in Kansas City when we had made Peace Jam in 17, we didn't know that we had to stay till Monday. And this is just again her quick thinking and all this stuff.
Okay.
We didn't know we had to stay till Monday to play against the winner, the Ohio Buckets. And they had made it to Peace Jam as well too. But
Okay.
when we won out, we realized we had to stay till Monday. So her quick thinking, like the stuff that she had to do as the director first is like paying for extra rooms, paying for extra people to stay and all this, that, and the third. Like the stuff that she had to do, like on the fly, is
Yeah.
like I would have never thought to been able to do that. Like I was like, oh man, what we finna do?
Yeah.
And Ava
Yeah.
just said, calm down, get this for me, and she had to handle within 10 minutes.
True. True.
And then now Corey, and it's funny with Corey, and I call Corey my boss now with the fusion. I'm kind of like just the guy behind the scenes now. But
Okay.
I give my hand whenever I can about coaching and stuff like that. But Corey is the man that make it happen.
Yeah.
He can pull anything out his behind and make it happen. We need
Okay.
a player, Corey. Corey, go get it.
He
And he'll
going to
go
find. Yeah.
25 minutes. He got a player for you.
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah.
And that's just his personality, man. Corey got the go get it attitude. He don't let anybody deteriorate him and what he got going on. If he feels strongly about something, he gonna make it happen
True.
any and every time. So Corey, again, is another young and up and coming. I think he's gonna be a great person behind the scenes in basketball, like a GM, general manager,
Okay.
maybe even owner one day. But Corey definitely, I think Corey is gonna help the state of Alabama move forward in these coming years with basketball, especially high school and AAU kind of coming together. I think it should come together. I think you can't have one without the other. So
I
I
agree.
think AAU and high school eventually need to come together. And I think Corey's gonna be the person that binds and make it work one day.
That's my guy, man. When I first met Corey, I told AP, I said, man, I like Corey. I rock with Corey when I first met him.
Young and get it. He young and get it.
Yeah. Um, how do you, as far as with school ball, how do you balance individual talent along with building team chemistry?
So with school ball, I like I said, you don't have to deal with as many personalities. But I'm gonna just say with my offense, with us, I allow everybody to get their rocks off.
Okay.
So if you feel confident and you've worked on a shot in practice and you can take it, take it. That
True.
way everybody know, okay, well he worked on that shot 1,000 times in practice. He's
Okay.
gonna take that shot. I'm fine with that. Individual talent goes hand in hand with team chemistry because guys know that okay, this is probably one of the better players on the team. Um,
Okay.
when it's time to give him the ball, it's time to give him the ball. So guys are smart enough to know, okay, we're not gonna go away from him when it's time.
Okay.
The good thing about, especially with my players now, the first through third quarter, we kind of know, okay, we're gonna coast and do what we need to do to keep ourselves within reach. If it's a game that we know that it's gonna be a dog fight. But in the fourth quarter, you kind of know, all right, it's time to get this person the ball. Let's get them in their spots. This is what we've been
Right.
working on. It's gonna be slow burns and all that good stuff. So, individual talent always goes hand in hand with team chemistry.
True. True. Um, what is one drill or practice strategy that is a must in your program?
The charge drill.
The charge drill.
The charge drill. And this is the first year I got two shot blockers on my team that can go get it. But the charge drill is something we go over every single day. You got to go over charge drill because if you don't go
Which
over
is a
the chart,
skill. Taking a charge is a
yeah,
skill.
it's a skill. And people know how to get the refs to be able to blow it quicker than they take it. It comes with a lot of acting,
Yeah.
and you got to be able to take it though.
Yeah.
I think I want to say we took one game 12 charges last year.
God.
Yeah, and surprisingly,
That's 12 extra possessions.
yes,
Like
yes,
people don't
you
look
got to
at
be
it
able to
like
take
that.
charges. You got to be able to take charges in this program. And plus, not to mention, like I said, I finally got a team full of shot blockers this year. I got two 6'4" players that can go get it with anybody. And again, they're still taking charges.
Man.
So,
You know what that's gonna do? If I'm getting downhill,
mhm,
I'm like, man, I don't know if he finna take a charge or try to block my shot. Like that's a mind game to somebody
right.
getting downhill. Like I like that, coach. I like that.
Yeah,
Taking a charge is a skill, um, and it's a skill that many don't have. It
exactly.
really is. It really is.
Especially when people don't want to take the bumps and the bruises that come with it. My
Yeah,
younger brother played college ball at Lawson State, and he led the conference in charges taken and charges drawn, and he had like 32 in the season.
yeah,
And it's just when you got somebody that you guarding bigger and they're gonna drop the shoulder every time, go ahead and take it. Be
yeah,
ready to take it. So,
yeah. Man, I love that, man, because with a charge, you get with a charge, you get a personal foul,
hmm
you get a team foul,
yep,
and you get the ball.
And you get the ball. And the
Man,
team
that's
morale is up right there.
yeah, that's I love that, man. I love that right there. Um, how do you handle players who have a lot of talent but may struggle with discipline or attitude?
That okay, that's actually great. My first year we had this guy named John Scott. And he was considered the best athlete at Tarrant High School. And I really, when I got there, I got hired August 28th. So it was when school started. And the football coach at the time wasn't giving him the discipline that he needed. Like he was walking off the field saying he quit. He was giving the football coaches problems, this, that, and the third. And it got time for basketball season. Of course, I put him on the team. But I had a secret conversation with him. I said, hey, I'm not that football coach. I promise you, you won't last long in this program if you continue to do what you do. He didn't believe me until we played, and it was calculated what I did. We were playing like Ultimate or somebody like that. Not Ultimate, but Westminster Oak Mountain. It was a private school, and it was
Okay,
a weaker team, but I sat him because he had missed practice the day before.
okay.
And he thought he could get away with it.
He's finna try you and
He
see.
was going to try it. So I said, okay. Missed practice. He missed practice. The next day, what I used to do was I put the jerseys out in the locker. Everybody just suiting up. So I put the jerseys out the day before. It was time for the game the next day. And we were out of school, so I didn't see none of the boys till about 3 o'clock when we had walkthrough. He got there about 3:45, 4 o'clock. Everybody in there shooting shots, getting sweaty, moving around, getting up game shots. And he walk in with his flip flops on, which is another no for game day for me.
Okay,
Um, so I look at him. I said, okay. He go come in, get up his shots. 6 o'clock come around. The girls finishing up playing, and we're getting ready to go suit up and warm up and play. He like, Coach, wear my jersey. I said, oh, you ain't playing today.
true.
You ain't playing today. I said, I thought you knew. I said, you signed, and what I do is I have the guys sign the contract during the parent meeting, and the
Okay,
contract tell you exactly what will get you put out, what will get you suspended, what will get you ran at practice, all type of stuff. It's got every
each
scenario possible.
disciplinary and
Yeah.
repercussion. Gotcha. Okay,
So it got every scenario possible that'll get you in trouble in this program. And I said, that contract that you signed, I need you to go read it. He read it and he was like, man, coach, I didn't know you was for real. I said, yep. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna put the shirt on and support your teammates. His mom decided to come try to talk to me. And I said, ma'am, I need to read this contract and see when you can schedule a meeting with me and we can sit down and talk. And she read it and she was like, and she kind of walked off. And I never had a problem out of him again until January. And we had an uphill battle the whole season because he eventually like quit at one point.
okay.
And I ended up letting him back after I talked to the team with it. He had to do like some crazy punishment. I forgot what it was, but it was
Crazy
crazy
Coach
enough to
Carter stuff.
man. And it had to be done. I gave him a week to do it. It
Okay,
was that crazy.
true.
So, and he ended up doing it. And the team let him back, and he ended up getting class three because he started a brawl in the school. And it was on a big area game. We had a game against Indian Springs, and he was actually starting that night. He was gonna start that night. And sure enough, he started the brawl, got class three, and he was gone.
Yeah.
So this you can't save everybody in any program. And he was a trouble kid too.
Okay.
But he didn't have the right discipline going on in his life. Mama kind of let him do everything. He was always running up behind his sister, making sure she was safe. And you can't save everybody, but you can always try your best to. And that's what
Yeah.
I always try to. I make sure I do everything in my power to. And when you got to give it up, you got to give it up.
I give it up. And that be the hurtful and sad part about coaching.
Right.
I can only imagine. I can only imagine. Um, what do you tell your players about the importance of education beyond basketball?
And that goes into my story of not being able to dribble a basketball no more. Because like my parents always say, that ball gonna stop dribbling one day. That ball gonna stop bouncing one day.
100%.
Not right, and not everybody makes it to college to play basketball. Some people play their last game on January 29th in an area tournament as a fifth seed, and they lose out as a fourth seed. That's your last game of
That's it.
basketball you'll ever play.
Yeah.
While you
Yeah.
watching, people playing the state championship on March 3rd. And that sucks because that happened to me my senior year of high school, having to go against those great Winona teams with Coach Lane and Justin Coleman and Bear Wilson and Isaiah Maston. That happened to me. And the the thing about it was I had to bounce back quickly because I had to choose what school I wanted to go to,
Okay.
and I wanted to see what I could do because although I had Jacksonville State in mind, I had a couple of JUCOs looking at me and wanted to see if I could still play and see if I still wanted to play. But knowing my crazy stuff back then, I said, "Man, I'm too good for JUCO. I'm gonna try my luck at Jack State."
Okay.
And
True.
had not locked in with what I wanted, my purpose in life so early. Because when I turned 19 and realized I couldn't play no more, I really locked in with school and knew that I wanted to be a teacher. Eventually, one day, become a principal one day too. So I knew that you got to have a degree to do all of this.
Right.
So education is important. Now, is it as important as everybody say it is now? Because you can pick up a trade and make it just as much as a teacher or a principal. But you have to have some type of form of education to be able to make it in this world today. You can't be, getting messed over on little stuff like taxes and not knowing what you're doing in life because you don't have an education.
And then, yeah, yeah, I agree.
So I definitely stress that. Like my first year, and this is what I do in my parent meetings. I always stress, okay, I have a sit down with each player before the parent meeting and ask them what they want to do when they grow up. And it amazed me my first year, the kids were like, well, I don't know what I want to do yet, coach. Which ain't bad, but I know growing up I had an idea, okay, this is what I want to do.
Okay.
And I kind of helped them figure out what they want to do. Like I got on my team now a senior who's number two in his class with a 4.2 GPA. His name is Tristan. And
Smart.
he's yeah, very smart. And he's fighting for number one against a girl who got a 4.5. So he's trying to get that GPA up right now. And I told him, I said, you can go to any school in the country you want to.
True.
Easy. Just
Yeah.
because of your grades right now. So I kind of help him like trying to get him into trying to see if we get him some dual enrollment credits next semester or um, just trying to help him get faster into college than what he is going to be. Because the quicker you go into college, the easier it is. You can take
Okay.
some of them classes here in Birmingham, and if you go to Auburn, you already got 12 credits going into school. So that's just as easy as some of these other kids. So
True.
definitely education is key. I hate when people try to deteriorate education out the system now.
Right.
Especially with um the move that these kids are making into these private schools and these schools that are playing on the EYBL league and all stuff like that. They don't push education, but that's only for the top players. Every kid wants to be in that position, but they can't be in that position.
Right.
So kids got to realize quickly that, okay, if I can't be in that position, then I need to look at something else. Need to have a backup plan.
Right.
So yeah, that education is key. I definitely push it in my program. I definitely want all my kids to be able to leave this school or any school I'm at and saying, I knew Coach Groom had my back in education for sure, and he gave me every chance to succeed on and off the court.
True. That's dope. That's dope. That's dope. Education is key,
Yep.
and you got to have it. You got to have it. So can you? So piggybacking on what you just said,
Mhm.
can you explain that feeling, even if it's even possible? Can you explain that feeling of seeing a young man leave you and you sitting back knowing like he ready for the world? He
Man,
ready.
that's that. So last year was probably my first. opportunity in that. My seniors last year, because the first year seniors, I tried to, but it was almost so late in the game with them. Like one of them was stuck, both of them was stuck on trying to play college ball, but as the AAU coach and seeing what these kids have to go through to play college ball, they weren't ready. But the group I had last year was so well rounded, my guy. Like they were ready.
Yeah.
They were ready for whatever the world was gonna put them through. And that started with me making them go to ACT classes in the summer at the school. We do ACT classes in the morning and then practice in the afternoon.
True.
And we kind of just went from there. And that was the biggest thing. Like they benchmark on their ACT because of that. They went from 17 to 22s like that, easy. And was able to get into some fine colleges too. So I'm excited to see how their future is going to, what their future is going to take and what
Right.
they're going to do for their future. But definitely that group last year, and that was the most successful group I've had so far on and off the court. But I was so proud of them just because I knew they were ready.
Ready for the world. Come on with it,
Yeah,
world.
yeah, man.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Um, what would you say makes a great leader for you on and off the court?
Somebody that's willing to do exactly what they're preaching.
Okay.
So if I'm telling the kids, okay, y'all can't be drinking and you can't be smoking and you can't be doing this at this early enough an age, then I know for a fact I wasn't doing none of that. And I you rarely see that nowadays, and it's crazy because I feel like a leader, a leader can't be a follower at any point. You can't be a follower. I feel like you have to stand on your own. I feel like if you believe in something, and I feel like if you believe that you're right in a position and you may be wrong, but you stand on all 10 saying that, hey, I'm right. This is what I believe in.
Right.
Then for sure, you're a leader. I feel like a leader leads um anybody. It could be I'm 30 years old, but I could be leading a 55-year-old man. He could be following me. I feel
True.
like you have to have the presence to do that. I feel like a certain presence to do that. And I just feel like great leaders value communication. I feel like great leaders value hard work, ethic, and all that great stuff. I feel like, if I'm telling the kids to push themselves in life, if I'm telling the kid, okay, we got to get up for 6 a.m. practices, that means we got to go to bed at 8 o'clock to be able to get up at 6 a.m. I'm gonna do that. I'm definitely gonna do that. Like I get up every morning at 4 o'clock, which we've started the 6 a.m. workout cycle. Okay.
No, you
We
go.
started the
My
6
bad. You
a.m.
good.
workout. Okay. We started the 6 a.m. workout cycle, which we've been implemented last year and this year for the boys, just lifting weights and getting work in the gym at 6 a.m. Every morning I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and do the same exact workout that the boys are gonna do
With them.
uh, at 6 a.m.
True.
And so that way the boys see a change in my body as much as they see a change in their body. No matter how hard it hurts, because I know I can't do a lot of the stuff that they do, but I
Yeah.
push my body through it. So that
True.
way I can say, hey, I'm doing the same thing y'all doing. I'm here with y'all. I'm doing the same thing y'all doing.
True.
So
Yeah. Do you think? So, do you think a leader can be a good leader? So, do you think someone that was once a follower can end up being a great leader?
and I just said that you can't never be a follower, but I feel like you can, but it takes time
It takes
and
growth
depend
and time.
patience, and that's another thing too. A lot of people don't have patience with that. I feel like if you have the patience to be, then yes, I feel like for sure. But eventually, followers fall into just doing what they were taught to lead instead of remixing it. If you feel what I'm saying on that, I feel like you have to make it into your own in order
Okay.
to be successful. I feel like if you lead then you made something into your own. But if you follow and you try to do the same thing somebody did, it's never gonna work. So I feel like that takes time and patience more than
Okay.
anything. And most people don't have that time and patience anymore. So
Yeah. The world's spinning so fast. People forget patience, and that's like a key part of life, having patience.
right, exactly.
Um, what are some things you think college coaches look for in a player that tell your players here and there? Some
How
things as
coachable,
a college coach.
how coachable you are. That's the number one thing. College coaches, I think a college coach could care less about anything else. If they like you and they want you, how coachable are you? And how are you going to face adversity when times get tough? Um, that's the main thing. And that's what talking to a lot of college coaches, especially on the EYBL circuit, that number one is this guy coachable.
Right.
Does this guy have the tools to be able to last through 4 a.m. workouts, 8 a.m. classes, 11 a.m. film study, 1 o'clock lunch, and then go right into practice from 4 to 6.
True.
So those things are they hardworking and are they coachable are the two things I definitely hear the most out of any college coach. And I've had conversations with Nate Oates, Bruce Pearl, um, and a couple other coaches. I don't know for sure, but the biggest in Alabama for sure.
True. True. So, how do you get a player to work on something that he may lack that would hurt his recruitment?
Ooh, now that's a good question. And that goes back to patience because it's not going to change overnight. Nothing
Right.
ever changes overnight. Nothing
Okay.
ever changes overnight. A
That's
player
true.
could be hard headed as he want to be, and then next thing you know, over time, it's going to change. But he has to look in the mirror himself because change comes from within, and I think that's a major quote. Change comes from within. So if he doesn't look in himself and say, I need to change, I need to become a better person to, be able to get looked at by these college coaches and all that good stuff, then it's not going to happen
Mm-hmm.
as quick as others may think. Like I said, it don't happen overnight. It's gonna take months, maybe years, for a person to change from within to be able to get college coaches comfortable to be able to offer them a scholarship and give them an opportunity that they didn't have. So
Right.
for sure, change from within and them looking within themselves first.
Right. And then go from there on
Go
fixing what
right,
you
go
may
from
lack.
there.
Got you. Got you. Um, what can we expect to see from you in Tarrant this school ball year, this upcoming season? What can we
Well,
expect to see?
this is the big year, man. This is year three. This is what we call the money year for major, and I say major, but high school coaches. Last year we had the breakout year. We made a lot of noise. We made it all the way to the Sweet 16, lost to West Morgan in Hansville. That was a heartbreaker. And I returned back six. Yes, I returned back six players that played varsity for me last year. I lost one in the portal. So I'm expecting big things. This is a senior led group. I got five seniors graduating this year.
Okay, you
So
got some experience.
if it happens, this is the year. I'm gonna be honest with you. And there's a lot of people expecting us to go far. I'm expecting the boys to go far. Um, I'm excited about it. I'm always excited about it, but this is probably the most excited I've been as a coach since I've been here because I expect so much more out of them. It's been a 3-year process, and this was the part of. And it's crazy. When I applied for the job, I had a packet and I gave the principal. I said, "This is my 3-year plan." By year three, I expected to be in the Final Four,
Yeah, and
and it
in the
all it
Sweet
should have happened
16
last.
last year.
You're
Yeah.
right, and it should have happened last year. We got messed up on a bunch of calls last year in that Hansville regional, and we spotted West
I
Morgan
remember
11
that.
points as well.
I remember that.
So early on. The boys had never played in the college arena. The first time they had ever stepped on the college floor was at UAB the day before we played.
Yeah.
And we got to practice there for about 2.5, 3 hours. And so
And that's
Um,
different. People don't understand.
yeah, that
That's
college floor
different.
different, dog. And that was my first time as a head coach being on the college floor, standing up.
Okay.
I've been at midfield where I was sitting down, hiding behind Courtney, Bard, and just kind of just like, oh, okay, the spotlight not on me. Let me just do
Right.
my job, be quiet. Now I'm making the final decisions, and I felt like we coached that game as well as we could have. We went up 9 with about 4 minutes left in the third quarter. We went up 9, and we was on a roll.
Yeah.
And I felt like I should have called timeout to give the guys a breather and run a play instead of just letting them come down and doing what we're doing. Because like I said, we get up a lot of shots. I'd rather get up shots than turn the ball over, in a sense. You get
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd rather
Yeah.
take a shot than turn the ball over.
Okay.
And we didn't get a stop, and they kind of got back into the game. So, and then we had the longest break in the third quarter when they had to fix the net, and it gave West Morgan a second breath of life because them boys were
Yeah.
exhausted.
Me,
Yes,
man.
everything was going against us. For me and my assistant Nigel Ramsey, he was saying like, "Man, they getting their breath back." I said, "Yeah." I said, "This gonna be a fourth
Momentum
quarter."
going down and
Yeah,
dang,
we
man.
had them boys
That's a
exhausted.
second halftime.
Yep, the second halftime for him. Exactly. It took like 10, 15 minutes for them to fix the net.
Dang.
Yep. And so I'm excited about this group. I will say that this is probably going to be the most exciting year that Tarrant has had since last year in a long time. We got a chance to do something really special. Nobody's made the Final Four on the boys' side. So, to hopefully be the first team to do it, it's going to be real special for the city of Tarrant. And not only that, but for these boys.
Yeah. That's what's up. That's what's up. So you kind of so what are you like for this upcoming season? What are your early season goals and later season goals?
To start off strong, we haven't started. Well, we did start off strong last year, but I want to get a stronger start. I want to be in that early ranking for 4A. For the first time since my first year. Well, we weren't in the early ranking, but we was in the later ranking in 3A my first year. We was not ranked number 8 in the state at one point my first year.
Okay.
And so I want to get that early ranking so the boys can see, okay, we can really do this.
Yeah.
We can
Yeah.
play with the best. You know what I'm saying? And my goals early on in the season are just to get better as a team every day. Win some games while we're doing it and have fun. And then later on down the season, hopefully we don't hit this wall that most teams go through.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully we stay consistent throughout the season this year and we don't hit a wall. And then hopefully by the time we hit late February, early March, we'll be looking at making that Final Four run again.
Yeah.
We'll be back in Hansville, and it should be a little easier this year. I'm gonna say a little easier, um,
A
because
little more familiar, at least.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But the sub change, so we'll be possibly playing West Morgan in our sub regional, depending on how it works.
Okay.
Um,
The cross. Okay.
Right, when that cross comes. So
Yeah.
depending on it either be West Morgan or Brooks, I'm thinking. I gotta, once we get into the season and stuff and see how them teams match up and look, for sure we'll see. But definitely get back to where we were and then go further than what we did last year.
A step further. What are some games, if you have any? What are some games that's circled on your schedule this year? Like with that big old red circle around it, like, yes, sir, let's get it.
Definitely we know them.
Okay.
They made the Final Four last year and getting to coach against a legend like Coach Lane, I definitely take that. I'm excited about that one. And we had a good game with them last year. We lost in OT. I don't think nobody expected us to, give a fight to that like we known him, but
Like y'all did, yeah.
exactly. But he's got a great team down there. I'm excited to play him. Definitely playing in the Heritage Classic in Fairfield. Well, not in, I don't know if it's gonna be at Fairfield this year, but the Heritage Classic where all the teams in Birmingham come and play each other. That's gonna be fun.
Okay.
And any area game, of course, I'm excited for that. Any area game.
Yeah.
I definitely want to assert our dominance in the area again. We went 9-1 technically with the area championship. So we went 9-1 the area last year. I want to keep doing that and keep asserting that dominance. So that way, when we go into these playoffs, everybody look at the schedule and be like, wow, they play some tough teams and they're ready. I want to be battle tested and I want to play. I'm not ducking any smoke, as people
Line it
say,
up. Yeah.
lining up. Oh, and also Florence for sure. Coach Burleson, I'm actually a big fan of Coach Dylan Burleson. Especially what he
Shout
did
out Coach
last year.
Brothers.
Yeah, and I know you had him on an interview.
Yeah.
Especially what he did last year, taking them all the way to the state championship against Hoover, and they could have won that game.
Could have popped who.
They could have won that game, and
Could have popped
I'm
who.
there as a fan watching. And just he does an incredible job with his team, and I'm excited to go play them, especially those teams in that North Huntsville area. We got to get used to playing those kind of teams and games, so I'm excited about playing that.
Okay. Okay. That's what's up. I got some out the door hitters for you real quick.
Okay.
Old school pass first point guard or new school get a bucket point guard.
Let me get the old school pass first
Okay.
because I feel like in the game of basketball now, everybody wants to go get a bucket, but you got to have something to kind of offset that. So if
Okay.
you have like for better example, Magic Johnson, and then you got Kobe Bryant right here. You got Magic and Kobe. Magic's not looking to get a bucket. He's looking to get everybody else involved.
Kobe gonna
So
get his bucket.
Kobe gonna get his points right. But if you got Kobe Bryant and Russell Westbrook on the same team, that's not gonna work.
Yeah.
It's gonna clash.
Yeah.
Kind of like how Russell Westbrook and KD did in the last couple years at Oklahoma City. It's gonna
Right.
clash.
I agree.
So I'd rather have somebody that can get my best player the ball, so that way he's not using all his energy trying to get the ball down the court because somebody else is trying to get a bucket.
True. True.
So you always
I,
got to have a mix and a balance.
it's good you broke it down that way with the Westbrook and Kobe bumping it, and then
Yeah.
possibly having a Magic and a Kobe, because I see people when they put teams together. You might look at them on paper or looking at the team. You be like, man, they finna go crazy. Me, I'm sitting back looking like, man, it ain't enough balls on that floor for that team. You know what I'm
It's
saying?
right, and I'm glad you actually said that because I actually made a statement on Facebook. I felt like I could be an NBA GM
Me
because
too.
hey, there's no way on the
I'm a good
Phoenix
one on
Suns.
2K.
For sure, for sure. But there's no way a team with Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal, and Devin Booker will ever work.
I
That's
agree.
too, like you said, there's not enough balls. Uh, I felt like, and I feel like now with putting teams together, people are just trying to play superstars together. You can't do that. You
True.
have to. I feel like the last big super team to work that just came together was the Miami Heat. I feel like that was the last one to work because you had a pass first player in LeBron James that eventually became the guy on the team. You had Dwayne Wade and you had Chris Bosh. Chris Bosh stayed in the background, of course. D
Right.
Wade gave up his title as the best player in the world, best player on the team. And LeBron was able to do what he did because of that. They were able to separate egos. But
Right.
then you get a team like the Brooklyn Nets, where I think they had James Harden, KD, and a bunch of other players.
Kyrie.
Kyrie, and you
Kyrie.
can't have that on the
I knew
court at
that
the
wasn't gonna
same.
work. I
You
knew it.
can't have. It's too many egos,
Pop, pop, pop,
too
pop,
many
pop, pop.
egos, and too many
Knew
balls
it.
bouncing.
Yeah.
You can't have that on the court at the same time. It's not gonna work. You got to have a mix and a balance. And that's why I feel like the Miami Heat was able to work. The Golden State Warriors was able to work because you had a mix and a balance. Draymond was the guy that held that team together. And
Yeah.
then you had guys that were saying, okay, Steph gonna get his shot, Clay gonna get his shots, but KD, oh, he can get a shot whenever. So we can just
Right.
lay back and chill when we want to.
Right.
So, you have to have something that it's gotta work. It's gotta make sense. It's
Yeah.
gotta
You
make
just
sense at
can't.
the end of
You
the day.
just can't throw. a bunch of skill pieces together. Like, let's go win. It
Exactly.
don't work that way. It don't
They
work.
don't.
I got another one. Old school dominate the paint big, or new school stretch the floor big.
Okay, so they have this conversation all the time about Shaq and Jokic. Let's kind of dive into that. Shaq is the most dominant player of all time. Well, growing up watching him, he's the most dominant player of all time. But
True.
Jokic dominates in a different way that we haven't seen since numbers are like Wilt Chamberlain.
Yeah.
Wilt Chamberlain was getting triple doubles like that in the 60s and 70s too.
Right.
And nobody really talks about that. So Jokic. Honestly, in today's game, yes, Jokic works, but at the same time, we talk about Shaq. If we putting prime Shaq on the court with anybody, yeah, I'm taking Shaq.
Right.
But if we talking
Definitely.
about like 04, 05 Shaq, where he's having to guard the pick and roll with Jokic, he's not guarding Jokic on the perimeter like that. But
Right.
what's to say that Jokic, when he gets down low with Shaq, is able to guard him and take the beating that Shaq used to give people? So that's kind of a 50-50. It's
Yeah.
kind of tough.
It's a tough one. Yeah.
Yeah, that's more tough than the pass first and the
The
go
point
and get it
guard.
guard, right?
Yeah.
But it depends on how you play. I don't think nobody
Yeah.
plays no more to where they go down, set up the offense, they pop out to the wing and throw down the ball to Shaq or a big man like that. Nobody plays like that no more. It's more
True.
five out, more spacing, more pick and pop. So, it depends on what kind of style of play you play.
Okay. So you taking the stretch big with the pass first point guard.
With today's game, yes. But if it
Gotcha.
was 2002, I'm taking Shaq all day.
Gotcha.
Easy.
Gotcha. Last question, coach. Out the door. For real. This one out the door. And I'm only gonna ask you this because me and my coworkers, we argued for about 17 minutes on this.
Okay.
Jiffy cornbread or from scratch cornbread?
From scratch all day.
From
From
scratch all
scratch.
day. Mixed with
Scratch
pinto
all
beans,
day.
turnip greens, macaroni, whatever.
Man. I scratch all day. I always make the joke, I want to suffocate when I eat cornbread.
I just had to ask you that, coach, because I literally had that argument earlier today at work. So I
Man,
said
I
I'm gonna
got
throw that as my out the door question.
yeah, dog. That from scratch all day. I want to see my cornbread in the pan, in the skillet pan, dog.
Yeah. Hey, coach, man, I appreciate you for coming.
Man, I
This was
appreciate you having
fun.
me, dog.
This was fun, bro. I
Man, it
finally.
was.
This was fun. This is episode 6 of I Said What We Said, and we out.
Appreciate you, dog.
Appreciate it, coach.